Even Napoleon's washstand was like the man himself, larger than life, extraordinary. The rich wood is yew, supporting swans and fish in gilt bronze, standing on lion's feet, holding an ornate pitcher of silver and a bowl of silver edged in gilt bronze. Even the emperor's golden bee emblems are here. Inspired by antiquity and made by Napoleon's official goldsmith, this washstand would be in his bedroom at the Tuileries Palace from the time he was first consul to the end of the empire. It would follow him to the ultimate end on St. Helena. Here is a court sword of Napoleon, designed for the emperor's personal use, standing beside the uniform he preferred to wear, that of a simple colonel, either that of the grenadier à pied of the guard or that of the chasseur à cheval of the guard. This is of the chasseurs à cheval. We can see that by 1812 or so, the emperor's girth has grown a little with his stature, this being the largest of his garments we've seen. Now, here is a portrait of him in 1812 in the other of the colonel's uniforms, the grenadier à pied of the Imperial Guard. And the artist has him looking trim as ever. One of the legacies of Napoleon's empire was the empire's style of decorative arts. In fact, Napoleon can be credited with resurrecting the arts in France. And the next gallery offers us examples of what a great legacy that was. First, flowers and birds embroidered on exquisite white satin. The finest silk, beautifully preserved, even pristine, for it was never used. Napoleon had planned to make Versailles his principal residence, and for that purpose he placed a large order for silk hangings. In fact, for almost 50 miles of silk, delivered between 1811 and 1813. Much of it was never used, such as this beautiful hanging, some 10.5 feet by 17 feet, designed for the salon of the Empress Marie-Louise at Versailles, a salon she would never occupy. Here we see another beautiful example of something else intended for Versailles. In fact, something inspired by the first master of Versailles, Louis XIV, who had tapestries made highlighting his reign. Napoleon thought that a good idea and ordered 16 from the same source, Gobelins, including this one of the emperor receiving representatives of the army after his coronation. The entire project was never finished. Weaving began in 1809 and stopped in June of 1815, the month of Waterloo. Below the tapestry panels we see 2 stunning, graceful chairs with arms of swans, designed by the architect Percier for the boudoir of the Empress Josephine, and so unique, so graceful indeed, that they would become associated with Josephine as would the symbol of the swan. This exhibition is the first time they've been shown restored to their original appearance. During the empire, the Sèvres porcelain factory produced fabulous dishes and vases, even effigies, almost exclusively for the emperor's residences and as gifts for his friends, such as this pair of Medici vases, one with a view of Egypt, the other with a Cossack bivouac, the edifice of the emperor, sculpted during the consulate, and the official portrait of the emperor until at least 1810. And of course, the beautiful Sèvres porcelain plates and services. A plate from the Egyptian service, rejected by Josephine eventually, and ironically given to the Duke of Wellington. A view of Mance, one of 72 dessert plates in the emperor's personal service, each with a different scene. Apollo and Daphne, 140 pieces given to Tsar Alexander. A plate from, appropriately named, the Gold Trim Service. The Medici Venus from the Greek service. A scene from the Palace of Saint-Cloud from, again, appropriately, the various scenes service. And here, in the midst of them, the champagne glasses bearing the initials of Napoleon and Empress Josephine. This monumental gilt bronze and sea green marble clock is certainly much more than just a clock. A wonderful example of neoclassicism. The creator, Claude Gall, is able to take us back to ancient times as he tells us the current time. On the right, we see the classic figure of Diogenes, whose lifelong search for an honest man has ended with the discovery of the Emperor Napoleon on the left being crowned by victory from above. At the very bottom, the Seine and Tiber flow together to symbolize the union of France and Italy, Napoleon's modern empire and the empire of ancient Rome. As you might imagine, the clock was the hit of the 1806 Industrial Exhibition. Treasures of an empire in this, the next gallery, an 8-sided treasure room of Napoleon and his empresses. A diadem, an incredible diadem, attributed to the Empress Josephine. Gold and a gift from Napoleon, it is set with an amazing 1,040 diamonds totaling 260 carats. Another of Josephine's diadems, this one carved from a single shell and ornamented with gold, pearls, and precious and semi-precious stones, with cameos of Apollo on his chariot, surrounded by the 4 seasons. The necklace of Mary Louise that you saw earlier, the gift from her grateful husband on the birth of their son, the King of Rome. Total weight, 270 carats. Interestingly, the piece can be divided into several other pieces, a bracelet, pendants, and various earrings. Several months after her wedding, François Renaud Nitto made a set of ruby and diamond jewelry for the new Empress Mary Louise, including a crown, a diadem, a comb, 2 earrings, 2 bracelets, and a belt. The set is actually better known by this exact copy Nitto made for himself, substituting white sapphires for the diamonds and garnets for the rubies. This fabulous piece, a diadem given by the Emperor to Mary Louise in 1810, is also by Nitto. The turquoise you see is a 20th century replacement for the original emeralds, 79 in all. However, it still has all of its original 1,068 diamonds.